Hey everybody, this is Dan. July 27th. I'm at home today because I actually plan on being off today because my mom. But anyway, so and plus we're gonna have inclement weather down here, so I work outside, so I'm keeping my tail inside. But this is a story, a tale, a ride with me. And anyway, you've heard me speak in the past about the gay lifestyle and things like that, and what I thought about it, the dangers of it, and blah blah blah. Well, I want to tell you a story real quick, but I have to set this story up. Back in 2008, I was doing some business in New York with a group of people, and it was about 20 of us. So in this group, there was this one brother, and he was a younger guy, and he was gay. He liked to cross-dress, dress up as a female. So anyway, in the course of being up there, we met up with other groups that were part of this company also. So anyway, this guy looked up to me like I was his older brother, because I always tried to, tell him things, watch out for him, and he always came to me for advice, and we all got along great, and don't get anything misconstrued. I have known gay people my whole life. My uncle was gay, and he was tragically beat to death when I was about, I say 10 or 11 years old. He also dressed up as a woman, but he used to do it behind the scenes. And he was beat to death. I mean, he was beat so bad we couldn't even recognize him. So I've, been around gay people my whole life, and that doesn't faze me. So anyway, this one brother, when I was up in New York, he dressed up as a female. So one night, me and the fellas went out drinking. That's when I was drinking. And he went out with some of the females. And so when me and the fellas came back, everybody sort of congregated into this one area. And I was getting ready to, go to bed, of course, 'cause I had to get up and work up there the next morning. So one of my partners, he was a married guy. And he was, about, lit up, drunk or whatever. And I remember he just kept looking at the young man that I'm referring to that was dressed up as a female. Now, he had to know that was this guy. So he hunched over, his hackles is up on the back of his neck. I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? You looking at him like you would hit that. And he looked at me and just, male or female, look like a duck, walk like a duck, and it's gonna fuck like a duck. I was like, man, you are crazy. Anyway, needless to say, that guy had relations with this guy that I'm talking about. So anyway, I heard it through the grapevine through the sister that I always hung out with up there. And me and her was like real tight, big girl, big boned chick, real cool though. Me and her was like brothers and sisters. And anyway, so a few days later, while we were up there, we caught the train to Canal Street. And if anybody knows anything about New York, Canal Street is where you go get all the bargains. So my wife, sister-in-law, blah blah blah, wanted some knockoff purses up there. So we get on the train, and it's me, this sister, and this brother that was the cross-dresser. And I let him strictly know, look, man, you're not gonna go out with me dressed like no woman. Now, I know you gay, but you still a man to me, and you're gonna be a man around me. And he respected me for being candid with him and telling him how I felt, because like I told him, I can only be honest with you, and if you make me feel uncomfortable, then I have to let you know about it. I mean, like, I'm a man, I respect you as a gay brother, and that's fine. So, and he respected that, and he always dressed up as a dude when we was out in public with our group. So anyway, while we were on the train going to Canal Street, getting back to the train, he just burst out crying, and we were like, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I got to tell y'all something." I'm like, "Okay, this is an odd moment. I'm going to get my wife some purses." And he says, "I'm HIV positive, and I've been HIV positive for a while. I was just scared to find the results, but I found out the results." And I was like, it was a heavy moment for me, because I'm like, oh man, this is a changing moment in this man's life. So what could I do? What could I do? That was awkward. No one had ever professed anything like that to me, and it made me see the fragileness of life. But needless to say, we get back to the hotel where we were staying at, and time went on, and this guy that gave us the news about his HIV positive didn't change his behavior. He was still very promiscuous sexually with a lot of the men that were there, who were married, by the way, or who had girlfriends, or who engaged in what they call down low sexual behavior. But I'm like this: I don't believe in down low sexual behavior. You either a bisexual person or you're gay. Yes, there are down low men, but I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. But I will end this story by saying, now look what's been on the news lately. There is a pandemic rash of AIDS, HIV/AIDS, going through the gay black community. And one of the things I asked this brother during our conversation was, man, why do you sleep with so many men? And he said, I'm gay, but I'm still a man. And I said, what do you mean? He says, just like men are dogs, we're dogs too. It's just we're gay. And he was like, that's the reason why there are so many multiple partners with gay black men, because we're still men, and men are promiscuous, especially at a younger age. So I look back and I see the recent figures of 80% of the new HIV cases are black men, and it's because of poverty and lack of education, denial, refusal to get tested because of fear of the results, and there is a seemingly created void now between the white gay male and the black gay male, and that's mainly due in part to the economic disparity between the two groups. So and some gay black men even blame it on slavery, which I don't see how slavery correlates with your lack of discipline or your wanting to be promiscuous and go out with multiple sex partners and engage in high-risk sexual behavior without protection. I think that has nothing to do with the past. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's your conscious decision to go down that road, and it should be your conscious and responsible decision to protect yourself accordingly and limit the amount of activity that you do in that area to one person. But I just wanted to share that story with you, and there are a couple of links down below. One will be discussing the disparity between white and gay HIV/AIDS cases, and the other one is just a link about a story. But I'm sorry I cursed in there, but I had to quote exactly what my man said. So peace.